name is Sophia Tobe, and I live in Meridian, Idaho. I had a lower left quadrant pain at one point that lasted, just was intermittent. I got you. I had rib pain at one point about 5 months later that I attributed to possibly a yoga move that I might have done because I practice yoga.
Well, Sophia Tobe, like a lot of American women, developed cancer of the ovary. It affects about 2% of US women, and the problem is the symptoms are very non-specific.
I mean, Sophia was remarkably healthy all these years, vigorously active, a yoga instructor, riding her horses, doing all kinds of activities, and with that comes some aches and pains here and there, and so she was always a minimizer when it came to her, discomfort.
Give my hand. Good boy. One other symptom that was very, very slight, a slight spotting, and so when the nurse heard that, she wanted to look further.
She went to the emergency room, had a CAT scan. CAT scan showed a large ovarian tumor. We took her to the operating room, and as is statistically common in our country, she was a stage 3 ovarian cancer with a colonic obstruction. So she required a big surgery and chemotherapy afterwards.
It was actually quite shocking to me that that was the diagnosis. My children were right there as soon as they heard that, that I was sick and that I had the surgery.
She's so healthy and she's so active, and hearing this about somebody like her just made me realize this can happen to anybody. It also was just a huge shock in general hearing that my mom had cancer. Like, nobody wants to hear that about their parents or their family in general.
Initially, we operated on Sophia. We removed the bulk of the tumor. We got her recovered from surgery. She starts chemotherapy. She'll get 6 cycles of carboplatin and Taxol chemotherapy, and then she'll go on maintenance treatment after that.
I'll never forget one thing that he did say to me after the surgery. He said, "You saved your life." And I thought that was just an interesting comment. But he basically referring to the fact that I followed my gut instinct, something wasn't right, and we got to the diagnosis, and so he was able to do the surgery and get me on to the next step.
Well, we're very hopeful in her case that the treatments on will hopefully be curative and the cancer won't wake up. And if she is cancer-free on this treatment around 3 years, she can come off, and then hopefully at 5 years we can tell her that it's very unlikely that the cancer will come back.
In the end, she ended up having the BRCA1 gene, which put her at high risk for ovarian cancer in particular.
So ovarian cancer is a cancer that's more often associated with genetics. And so it's very important, if there's a family history of ovarian cancer, that patients talk to their primary care provider about potentially doing genetic testing.
My mom's BRCA1 gene mutation was passed down to me. Learning about being positive for the BRCA2 gene mutation was so hard because I think she worried that it was her fault, that she didn't know this sooner. But it's nobody's fault. I don't know, I like, oddly enough, have these connections from my previous work where I have met so many women that have the same thing that I have now and what my mom has. And so I just kind of like know what I need to do. And I know what my mom needs to do. And so we have that connection now, my mom and I.
Ram, come on in. Oh my gosh, come here. Yeah, okay, are you gonna come over here? Come here. Okay, come here. There he is.
Women are in charge of health care in the family. They get their husbands, their kids, their grandkids to the doctor, to the dentist, but they kind of don't take care of themselves. So they put themselves on the back burner, then they get sick, and if you lose the matriarch of the family, that's a big loss for the family for generations down the road. So it's very important. We need our women.
Getting a diagnosis of cancer is, first off, very overwhelming, and it's very individual, right? Every circumstance is different. One thing that I do know that I'm certain about is no matter how difficult the diagnosis, one constant thing that I've experienced is the care, the compassion, really love from people that are helping me get better. No matter how difficult a cancer diagnosis is and the uncertainty that's behind it, that's one thing that I can say is a constant, is the care I received at Saint Alphonsus and the way I was treated there.